What if I told you that in just 30 days, you could boost your LSAT score by 10 or more points without feeling overwhelmed or spending 8 hours a day studying? Today, I'm going to walk you through a proven step-by-step strategy that will help you maximize your score efficiently and effectively. And this is not about studying harder. It's about studying smarter. Whether you're aiming for a top score or just trying to break into the 160s, this method works. For those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now, over the years, I've worked with thousands of students refining a strategy I call the laser approach. It's designed to optimize every single minute of your study time and deliver results. LASER is an acronym standing for Learning, Accuracy, Sections, Exams, and Review. Today, I'll break down each of these phases and show you how to implement them in a 30-day timeline. This is the exact method I use to help my students consistently improve their scores. Now, the first phase is learning, and it's all about building a rock-solid foundation. Think of this as the groundwork for everything you'll do later. If you don't fully understand the core concepts behind each question type, your progress is going to stall. So over a 30-day period, take the first 7 days and devote them to building that foundation, understanding the question types. In logical reasoning, there are about 15 different types of questions, but not all of them are equally important. Focus on the big three first: necessary assumption, inference, and flaw. These question types account for a significant portion of logical reasoning, so mastering them first will give you the biggest return on investment. Now, in terms of resources, textbooks are great, but they can be overwhelming, and a lot of these textbooks are 500 pages giving you far too much detail. Not the most efficient way to study in a limited period of time. Videos are often shorter and boil things down simply, and live small group classes and one-on-one coaching can give you exactly what you need, personalized to you on your schedule without wasting time on concepts you already get or going too fast for you if you're going to get overwhelmed by that. So at LSAT Unplugged, that's exactly what we offer. We offer live online classes via Zoom, on-demand video courses, small group coaching, and one-on-one coaching. You could check out the links below to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Now, you want to spend roughly 2 to 3 hours per day at least during this foundational phase, learning the L in laser, focusing exclusively on understanding the logic behind the questions. And after you've built your foundation, in days 8 to 14 of this 30-day plan, we're moving on to A for accuracy. And this phase is now all about drilling questions by type to understand the nuances of each one. You want to start with the types you find most challenging. For many students, these might include strengthen and weaken questions, parallels, evaluate the argument, but don't spend too much time on parallels or evaluate because they're relatively uncommon relative to those types I mentioned earlier: necessary assumption, inference, and flaw. At LSAT Unplugged, we give you breakdowns of questions organized by type so you can drill them consistently until you're hitting at least 70 to 80% accuracy. And of course, you're going to want to track your errors. You could use a mistake journal or an error log to keep track of every single mistake you make. And for every single question you miss, you want to write down why you chose the wrong answer initially, why the right answer is right, and what kind of mistake in your thought process led to the mistake. Are you struggling with certain question types more than others, or do certain phrasing tricks consistently trip you up? If you can ID these patterns early, it's going to help you adjust your approach, which is why at LSAT Unplugged, we use the Socratic review method to help you analyze which mistakes you're making and why, so that you can course correct and avoid making those same mistakes next time around. Now, in this phase, you want to spend at least 3 to 4 hours per day if you can, but the goal here is quality over quantity. Don't rush through the drills and allow plenty of time to analyze your mistakes. Now that you've developed accuracy with individual questions, we're going to move on to practicing under timed sections. So this phase, sections, the S in laser, is all about simulating individual timed sections to work on your pacing. So you want to do timed 35-minute sections. Start with a single logical reasoning section to begin. Try to finish with at least 2 to 3 minutes to spare, which gives you plenty of time to revisit any questions that you flagged or skipped. You also want to build up a time bank by solving the first 10 questions as quickly and accurately as possible. These tend to be a bit easier. Aim to finish them in roughly 10 minutes. Now, you're also going to want to get flag and skip tougher questions. Typically, these are the questions in the 15 to 23 range, as these tend to be the most time consuming. Then you come back to these flagged questions after you've finished up the rest of the section. Now, analyze your timing. Use these practice sections to figure out where you're spending too much time or getting bogged down. And if you find that you're consistently running out of time, you could even level things up by practicing with shorter time limits, like 30 minutes instead of 35 minutes, because this forces you to make faster decisions under pressure. Now, in this phase, you want to spend about 2 to 3 hours per day to give yourself time to both practice the sections and also review your performance. Now, in that final week before the exam, you want to focus on exams and endurance. That's the E in laser, because with just a week to go, you want to be incorporating full-length timed practice tests to build up the stamina that you'll need for test day itself. So aim for at least 2 to 3 full-length practice tests during this final week, but don't take them on consecutive days. We don't want you to burn out. And spacing them out also gives you time for detailed review. You also want to simulate real test day conditions by taking your practice test at the same time of day as your actual LSAT and following the exact timing and break schedule. It's 2 sections back to back, a 10-minute break, then 2 more sections back to back, and that's your test day. Test day is long. It's going to be about 2.5 hours with standard timing. It's longer if you have extra time accommodations. And so you're going to want to use these practice tests to condition yourself for sustained focus. Now, you want to pay special attention to how you feel during the second half of the test and adjust your stamina strategies accordingly. You also want to manage your stress. If you find yourself experiencing anxiety, practice calming techniques like deep breathing or visualization. And you could imagine encountering a tough question on test day and then rehearsing how you'll stay calm and refocus. I personally find mindfulness meditation really helpful. Even just 5 minutes a day can yield results when practiced over the course of, say, a month, for example. Now, in this final week, you want to spend roughly 4 to 5 hours on test days, including detailed review. On non-test days, maybe some light drills or a little bit of review here and there. Which brings us to the R for review in the final phase of the laser approach. This is the most critical phase and should be incorporated throughout your prep. You want to use a dedicated framework for review, like the Socratic review method. For every question that you get wrong or have difficulty, you want to ask yourself, why did I eliminate the right answer and why did I choose the wrong answer? What are the traps the test makers are using that I'm personally falling for? How can I avoid making that same mistake the next time around? You can do this, of course, in your own LSAT self-study, but if you'd like our help, we do guide students through this process in our small group classes in our one-on-one coaching program. Links below to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. You also want to do a deep dive into these missed questions, writing out your thought process for every question that you get wrong or have difficulty with. And you don't want to neglect the questions you guessed on or found difficult, even if you got them right, because it could have just as easily gone the other way the next time around. Now, every single day throughout your LSAT prep, you want to spend at least 30 to 60 minutes reviewing, especially after you take a full-length timed exam or an individual practice timed section. Now, for the last 2 days, days 29 and day 30 of the 30-day plan here, you want to make sure that you're managing your energy levels, your stress levels. You don't want to burn out. Maybe you take a final practice test on day 29. You review it on day 29. Day 30, you're resting, you're relaxing, you're taking a hot bath, getting a massage, going for a walk, watching Netflix. You don't want to burn out in the final couple of days before the test. You want to go in feeling fresh, cool, confident, and ready to crush it. Now, why does laser approach work? Why do I orient study plans this way? Because it's simple, it's efficient, and it's tailored to how the LSAT itself is designed. By focusing first on learning, then accuracy, then sections, exams, and finally, of course, review, incorporated throughout, you maximize every minute of your prep, which is what gets you those measurable improvements in your score. Now, if you'd like my help taking your LSAT prep to the next level on your journey to scoring a 170 plus, you can check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. And in the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.